Hey guys, so yes, this is finally it. It is my chocolate protein bar recipe video. I know I've been teasing this for the longest time, but you guys have no idea. I'm like a one-woman show and it has been so difficult to film this video. Like I tried to film it and it didn't work out a bunch of times. My protein was back-ordered, so then when I was ready, I couldn't do it. So now I finally got around to do it to you guys. They are guilt-free, pretty much sugar-free, low-carb, high-protein. They are just good for you and they look like a guilty dessert, but they're not. So I have 2 of these a day, usually for dessert, and I usually top them with peanut butter, and so I have some fresh fruit on the side. I will leave all the ingredients and the macros for my particular bars in the information box below, but please note that depending on the protein you use, depending on the brands of different things that you guys use, the macros could be slightly different, probably by like a number or 2 here and there, so they may not be the exact same as mine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'm gonna stop talking. Don't worry, you guys requested this literally every day and I did see it, but I guess no one listened when I said it was coming, but here you guys go. Enjoy. So I've already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. That is the first thing you guys are going to want to do. And I have washed my hands. So here are all the ingredients and utensils you'll need. Okay, so first things first, you just want to start out with your dry ingredients in your large mixing bowl. So I'm taking my pre-measured cup of oat flour. Oat flour is basically just ground oats. So you guys can just grind up regular old-fashioned oats if you would like to make oat flour, but this is just smoother and easier for me because it's already ground up for you. I'm also now going to be adding my protein. This counts as a dry ingredient. So like I said before, I'm going to be using 3 scoops of the chocolate protein. Most protein baking recipes do not call for 3 scoops. They call for 1 or 2. I like to do 3 because I like to maximize the protein that I'm getting per serving, just to make them as high protein as I can. I wouldn't do any more than 3 though. I do 3 heaped just because then it can become more of a stodgy cake consistency. So I use the scoop that comes with the protein to do that. I'm going to be taking a teaspoon of the baking powder. It can be slightly heaped because baking powder is recommended to be 1.5. And I'm doing 3 heaped tablespoons of baking cocoa. I love chocolate, so these are like right up my alley. And so I make them heaped because the carbs in this really isn't anything to write home about. So I go to town with this. And I actually need to get new baking cocoa soon because this is almost done. Okay, now those are all our dry ingredients in the bowl. Most cooking recipes do recommend that you use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but I never cook with salt, so I never add that in. I never have, even with non-weight loss baking. It's just very unnecessary. So now what you're going to want to do is mix everything together. I'm just going to start giving this a really good mix around. I want to combine everything really, really nicely because the baking powder can leave chunks in there, as can the oat flour. It's pretty chunky, so you want to get a nice blended consistency. So really go to town and blend this together. This is not eyeshadow, this is food. I'm going to take our smaller bowl and I'm going to do the wet ingredients in the smaller bowl. So I'm going to start off by taking our stevia or whatever sweetener you're using. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to take my 1/2 cup and take a 1/2 cup of stevia. So this is what stevia looks like for anyone who's interested. It's really kind of powdery and fine. So a 1/2 cup of that directly in there. Now for the super fun part, I'm going to crack my eggs. I only want to use egg whites for this. 4 egg whites is enough. You can do more, again, if you want to up the protein because these are protein. So to separate egg whites, you guys probably all know this. I crack the egg, split it open. This is a process. And then I just go back and forth between the 2 shells to separate the white and the yolk until it runs clear. I'm just using my mixer at this point. You guys would use your electronic mixer. And I did cut this out the video just because you don't want to obviously have it in the video. It'll be really boring. But I also obviously wash my hands after dealing with the eggs because they are raw food. And of course, a clean kitchen is the only way to go. You don't want to get salmonella. This is what our eggs and stevia combined look like. You can just see it comes to be a little bit of a frothy mixture. And so I'm going to continue adding wet ingredients to this now. So I'm going to be taking my President's Choice apple and blueberries. Like I said before, I have 2 jars of these. If you want to get most of this out, I even scraped it from the cap because obviously the applesauce is acting as though we are using butter or something like that. It's adding moisture to our cake mixture and it's going to be acting like that just to keep things moist. Then you want to set these containers aside because we are not done with them. We're going to need it in just a second. Now, the reason we kept this is because you are going to want to add 8 ounces of water to the mixture. So I like to fill this up 1 3/4 times and then just dump in the water. Please make sure that you guys don't use boiling water or too cold because you don't want to scramble your eggs or anything like that. And because this is wet ingredients, I'm also going to go ahead and add my teaspoon of vanilla. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my mixer again and mix everything together. I'm going to bring back the bowl that we worked with earlier so that we have our dry ingredients in. And this is the simplest recipe ever. All I'm going to do is plop the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. You want to make sure you get all of this wet ingredients out though because it is what is the moisture. So get as much of this liquid mixture out as possible. Spoon, we're just going to mix this together and this is when our batter really kind of comes to life and takes shape. It's going to look a lot more like brownie batter once you mix this all together and it's going to smell really good like chocolate. So get all the oat flour off the sides of the bowls, all your dry ingredients and just mix together and you'll see it combine. So this is the 9x9-inch baking pan. Mine's kind of ghetto because it's old, but this is what we're going to be using. And I'm taking my butter flavor canola oil cooking spray and we're going to just grease this because you definitely don't want everything to stick. So I do a few little sprays. Make sure you get the size. It's kind of most important because that's where it will stick. I know some people leave it like that, but I just take a, what do you call this? A piece of kitchen towel. And this blocks off the excess and it also just makes it distributed really nicely around the whole pan. So really you just want it to be lightly greased and you can see all that excess. And then of course we're just gonna put this whole mixture, oh my arm fat jiggled. Of course we're just gonna put this whole mixture right into here. And I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 22 minutes in my oven because my oven's really hot. But you can do it from anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. Obviously, you just cook it until you can stick a toothpick in or a knife and it comes out clean. So whatever is good for you. So my camera died, but this video has been so requested, so I really wanted to get it up for you. When you take them out of the oven, you do want to let them cool for a long time, as long as you cook them for, just so that when you cut them, they easily slide out of the pan and don't leave any residue. I cut them into 16 squares, which is 3 lines in each direction, 3 cuts in each direction, and I make sure to store them in the refrigerator. They will last for an entire week if you store them in the refrigerator in an airtight container like a Tupperware, because there are no preservatives in these to keep them fresh. So that's about it. Okay guys, so that is how I make my protein bars. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did like it. I don't know if cooking videos are my thing. They're kind of difficult to film, and especially if I got raw meat out and I'm dicing up onions, it's just difficult. So please bear with me. I do see you requesting other meals and things like that, and I do want to bring those to you. So I will figure out a way. I may make an ebook or something. Let me know if you would download an ebook if I made it with all of my recipes and tons more and things like that. I will be back later in the week. Actually, I want to do another weight loss kind of topic, more of an after weight loss topic that I got requested to talk about people's reactions after weight loss, and I want to talk a little bit about fat shaming and skinny shaming because it's pretty relevant right now. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye.